In this video, we're going to be using Signature Soaps Leotis and the Tatara Muramasa adjustable razor. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB, and thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I think we have a great one for you today, but before we get into the content today, I want to remind you that this video is brought to you in part by our good friends at Leaf. We'll pop up a picture of the leaf and the twig right there. If you would like to get 5% off your order at Leaf, use discount code IAMCDB. So if you're looking to shop at Leaf, go ahead and save yourself 5%. Great folks at Leaf, go and check them out. All right, let's get into it today. I am using Signature Soaps for the first time ever. This was kindly sent to me by Pastor's Shaving at New York City to evaluate, and the name of this one is Leodis. Now I want to point out one thing at the onset. I'm not a huge fan of shaving soaps in tins because they get beat up, and this is the way this particular one arrived. It's got a dent right there. It's got a dent right there. And to me, that just doesn't come across as professional. The plastic just holds up better. And so if you're going to have a ton of soaps, this is going to get beat up. If you do shave of the days, it's probably not going to look great in your shave of the days and so forth. So I'm not a big fan of that. However, if you don't mind tins, I tell you what, the price on this one is not bad at all. It was currently on sale, or as of the date of recording, on sale at Pastor's, $19.99 for 6.3 ounces. On our cost chart, that's $3.17 an ounce, which is a good price. And even the regular price, $24.95 for 6.3 ounces, still a good price, $3.96 an ounce. Since it's coming all the way from UK, that is not bad. The scent on this one, I'll put the scent description for you right there. This is grapefruit, rose, geranium, clary sage, and I like it. I like it. It smells really nice. It's got a great scent. And there is a look at the soap if you're interested in what the pour looks like. There's a lot of soap in there. The consistency on this one is, it's almost putty-like, so it's more towards firm. I like that, not bad at all. This is a vegan, I believe. I'll put the ingredients for you right there. And we didn't have any problem lathering it. I will say it started off on the fluffy side, and I had to work a little bit to get it creamy, but I think we did get it creamy. I'll go ahead and roll in a couple of lather shots, or at least one there, so you can see how the lather came out. I had to work it a little and add water slowly. What happens with some of the vegan soaps is they tend to start out fluffy, and you got to sort of work them to get them creamy, but we did get it where we want it, and we look forward to using this soap, which is Leodis from Signature Soaps today. First time using the brand, so I'm looking forward to it. Thank you again, Pastor's. The razor for today is the Tatara Muramasa razor, and this is an adjustable razor, and as far as I know, it's the only of its kind, because this one, when you adjust it, and it's difficult to adjust because you almost have to hold it here when you're adjusting it, but this one adjusts both. Can you see that base plate going in and out? It adjusts both the blade exposure and the blade gap at the same time. This is not an inexpensive razor. This one will run you about $389 US. It's made of 316 stainless steel. It is a really nice razor. I love the size of the handle. I love the design. There's a couple of things about it I don't care that much about. We'll talk about that when we get into the shave. But it is a really good looking razor, and I do like it. But a couple of things we'll discuss. But let's get into it because we've wasted enough time. Well, first I'll tell you the blade is our Sharp 7 AM on its third and final use. All right, now we'll get into it. That was a lot to say. I'm just misting the face here. This is just plain water, applying a little hydration to the face, and this lather's been sitting a while, so let's mix her up a little bit. Of course, it's in my daily driving Captain's Choice bowl, but we do have a nice lather. The brush today is the APShaveco with the cashmere knot, which you know I like. This soap has a nice scent on it. Scent strength, by the way, is about medium. It's not too light. I like that. I like the scent on this soap. Like I said, I would say it was I wouldn't call it difficult to work with, but it did start out fluffy. And you're going to have that sometimes. The first time you use a brand, you sort of have to learn, you know, how it lathers. And I will say it made volume very quickly. And that is what happens with some soaps. They puff up quickly, but to get it creamy, I had to sort of beat it into submission. So it wasn't bad by any stretch. And it feels good on the face, no irritation or frag burn or anything like that. I don't get that often. That's a rare thing for me. But feeling nice so far. So, and I do like the scent. This is my first time, again, ever using the brand. Let me know below if you've used a Signature soap and what you thought. The only drawback so far is the tint. I just don't care for that. You know, I'm someone who wants to show these products in the way the artisan intends. And I'm assuming that Signature Soaps does not want to show that in their product. Dents all in the tin, making it look like a, you know, scratch and dent sale somewhere. But that's the way tins arrive oftentimes, and that's why I'm not a big fan. All right, let's go. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first observation I'll make about the Tatara Muramasa that I don't like is it is on setting 1. Well, first of all, those numbers right there are very hard to see. I could see it, but they're small, so it'd be nice if you could see that a little better. The other thing is that's on setting 1. I'm going to move it up to, let's see, you have to hold the top cap just about to adjust it to. I'm going to start out at setting 3 because I'm going to show you the settings right here. The first 2 for me are almost useless. They just don't have enough blade feel to be enjoyable for me. It does shave because I've used it on those settings, but I don't like the way it feels. So for me, the first 2 settings are almost useless. 3, 4, and 5 are fine. I like it. But 1 and 2, just not a fan. I would prefer, you know, for every setting on an adjustable razor to, you know, to feel good. And for 1 and 2, for me, there's just not enough blade feel there to be enjoyable. In fact, the first time I used it, I didn't think it was doing anything on 1 and 2. So that is, for me, not all that enjoyable. Now, if you enjoy super, super mild razors, that might be a plus for you. But for me, that is a con because you just don't feel enough blade. It's not until like the 3 setting that I feel anything. But on 3, it starts to feel nice. It is very smooth. This razor is well balanced. It's definitely well made. So there's some good, you know, qualities in the build. There's no question. It's got a unique build. You can go look at my other videos where I talk a little bit about this razor. And I'll talk about it in greater detail in a future video, maybe where I just sit down and talk about the razor itself. It is definitely an innovative design in that it adjusts the blade gap and exposure at the same time. Typically, adjustable razors only adjust the blade gap. This one does exposure and gap, which is nice. But I said, again, to me, those first 2 settings are just absolute throwaway for me. So not a lot of value in settings 1 and 2. But on setting 3, it begins to feel nice for me. So I'm going to, between this pass, move it up to 4. And again, those numbers are extremely small and hard to read. So, you know, those for me is the cons and the fact that it's very expensive. You know, you're definitely paying for the innovation. There's no question about it. But I do like the way the razor feels. I like the way the razor shaves on 3, 4, and 5. Particularly 4 and 5. I just don't like the first few settings. For an avid hobbyist who prefers some efficiency, are all that useful. So it's kind of a throwaway for me. But you might like those. Again, if you really like mild or little to no blade feel, you may like that because those are negative exposure. And so you might like that. But for me, that's not a plus. The soap on that first pass was quite slick, quite nice, no quality issues, no, you know, funky feeling on the skin, or burning or anything. So, you know, from a quality perspective, I'm liking this soap. Again, I have to work out to lather, but you know, what I do have here is nice. It is, you know, quite slick. Of course, you know, like I said yesterday or the other day, pretty much every reputable soap on the market is slick. You can be assured of that. If you lather it properly, it'll be slick. If you're not finding it slick, you're probably not lathering it, or getting the best out of it, I should say. But this one, quality-wise, seems just fine. I don't detect any problems whatsoever. And again, Pastors is carrying this soap, if you're interested. I will say, by virtue of the tin, it's probably not a brand that I would ever buy a lot of, just because I have a lot of soaps. They're going to sit around, they're sitting on top of each other, they're going to get dinged up, they're going to look terrible, and that just is not for me. But quality-wise, if this were in a, you know, sort of the industry standard plastic container that's durable and that I could keep for a long time, it's going to look good in the presentation, then I would certainly give it a shot. I think the product itself, very nice. Packaging, I don't like. And you know, that's just the way we run the channel here. If you are new to the channel, it doesn't matter whether something is sent to me or not. I'm going to always call it like I see it. I've always done that. I will continue to do it. And so, you know, that's the honesty and candor, excuse me, easy for you to say, the candor you can look forward to on this channel. Because trust me, I have enough soaps to where, you know, you're not going to buy me with a shaving soap. Nor does anybody try to. Let's just be clear about that. There are no artisans that are trying to buy reviews or, you know, anything like that. But I just mean, there are some people out there who, every time they see someone using an evaluation product or something that was sent to them, they just assume someone's on the take, and that's just not true. We certainly appreciate it. It helps the channel, to be sure. But I'm never going to say I don't like a product that I like. And I'm always going to point out the things I don't like about it. Because that is my obligation to the viewers. And it's really every YouTuber's obligation, every reviewer of any kind, anyone who talks about products. You know, I think you have to have that commitment. And it's not, I mean, it's not great. No one likes to say negative things, but that's our job. That's our job. So on this one, you know, we give you the good and the bad. But I will say, in terms of quality, I'm enjoying it so far, and we will do the third pass with it. As you can see there, the razor is rinsing nice and cleanly, which means, you know, we've got the lather pretty well dialed in. It is nice and slick. Again, not detecting any quality problems. The scent is nice. There's still some left over down there in the bowl, so I'd say the value on this soap in terms of the product itself, you get a lot of it, and it is well priced, especially coming from the UK. So I am definitely pleased with the product in terms of the soap itself. So I would say if you don't mind containers and like you're not interested in, you're not someone who shows content or takes shave of the day photos, and you're just shaving, you don't really care what the product looks like, then, you know, it would be one you might want to try. Again, they're carrying it at past stores in the US, if you're in the US. So you might want to check it out. Definitely, it's worthy. See that good hydration in the lather? It's worthy of a try. But again, be mindful that in the beginning, when you're first lathering it, it might puff up a little bit on you. You'll just have to add hydration and beat it into submission. That's okay. No problem with that. You have to lather the soap. The soap isn't going to lather itself. I wouldn't say it's difficult to lather by any stretch of the imagination. And you will build volume fast. So if you like that sort of thing, it might be for you. We're going to turn up the razor to setting number 5, which is its most efficient. And it gets fairly efficient on setting 5, I think. Like I said, 3, 4, and 5 on this razor for me are quite usable and enjoyable. Settings 1 and 2 are pretty much useless for me. But as I said before, if you really like a mild feel, blade feel, settings 1 and 2 might be great for you. So it really depends on you. But for the money, this razor, you know, what it cost, I would like all 5 settings to be enjoyable to use. And for me, that 1 and 2 just isn't all that enjoyable. But I like everything else about the razor, except for the cost and those first 2 settings. I like everything else. I like the design. I like the handle. I like the length of the handle. I like the weight. The fit and finish on it is good. The fact that it comes apart so you can clean it is very cool. I'll show that at some point when I talk more about the razor and do a little more comprehensive discussion on it. Love the innovation of this razor. I think it's really awesome. But you're definitely paying for it. There's no way of getting around that. And I got this one from Matt Lawrence. I gave him some cash and we made a trade, and he did not like this razor. It was not a winner for him. He couldn't feel anything on the first few settings, and then the latter settings just felt like it was all blade, so he couldn't find a sweet spot on the razor. And so I said, well, let me take that off your hands and I'll give it a go. And I would say that, do I think for me, it's a $389 razor? No. And the reason why is those first two settings are useless for me. But probably still is a keeper because 3, 4, and 5 I do like. So, and I like the design. I like the idea. I like what they went for. I just think the execution on setting 1 for my preference just isn't where I'd like it to be. But a lot of people may really prefer that and may find it to be much to their liking. So there it is. All right, that was really a nice shave, I have to say. Nothing to complain about. Let me rinse, then we'll come back, get into the post. Stay tuned. And all right, we are back, and off cam we did a warm water rinse to remove the soap, and then we used our Razor Rock Travel Alum. No stinging whatsoever, so it was a super nice shave, and you know how we do it. No nicks, cuts, creepers, weepers, irritation, bubbles, or troubles. That's how we try to do it every day, and we succeed most days. So nice shave. Following the alum, we did a cool water rinse, and then we toweled off with our Lancaster towel prior to applying the magic made by Witch's Thayer's Witch Hazel Cucumber. So today we had a really nice first run with Signature Soaps Leotis. Pros, nice scent. The lather volume comes easily. The cost is good. So those are your pros. Cons, if you care about the presentation of the soap, you know, you're going to get the dings in the tins, which we showed you earlier, and we show you right there, and eventually the tins rust. And so for me, you know, that's not a winning formula because I just don't care for it. But for you, if you don't care about the presentation, if you're not worried about it getting banged up, I think it is a soap that is worth trying on a quality basis. Thumbs up. And I do like the scent as well. So a nice run with Signature Soaps Leotis. Not bad at all. The Tatara Muramasa adjustable razors. Pros, really, really innovative design. It looks great. I love the handle length. I love the weight. I love the fit and finish. I love it on setting 3, 4, and 5. Cons, the first two settings, if you're someone who needs a little blade feel, are useless. They're just useless. 3, 4, and 5 are good, with 3 being okay, 4 and 5 being good. The first two settings, pretty much useless if you want blade feel. That could be a pro for you, however, if you want extremely mild razor, so keep that in mind. Also, the con would be, it is very expensive at $389, but overall, a nice shaver. If it had 5 settings that I really loved, I would really be more happy with it. But overall, it's still a keeper for me. I do like the razor. I appreciate what they've done with design, and so for that reason, I do like the razor. All right, I think with that is it. Well, no, it's not it. We haven't gotten to the aftershave yet. We're going to use today Stirling Mountain Man just to finish things off. This is another one I've got on my hit list to try to use up because I'm getting towards the bottom. I hope you all have a great day, and let me know below. Have you used the Tatara Muramasa? Easy for you to say, tongue twisted. Or have you used the Signature Soaps? I do think it's a good soap. And certainly the Tatara Muramasa. I did it again. This is just not going to be a good day, is it? Yes, it is. We're going to turn it around. We're going to make it a good day despite my being tongue twisted. All right. Thank you, folks. I'm going to try to wrap this up before I have more blunders. Thank you as always. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB, and I remind you, it's your shave, do it your way. And as always, God bless.